to my channel. In today's video, it spans over several weeks because it's been raining a lot here and I haven't been able to get to doing everything in one day like I usually do, or in a couple of days. So what we're going to be doing today is getting started on officially starting the Maverick. There's things I need to do to the Mountaineer to get ready for the engine to be pulled out, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. So as you see, I'm already at the shop, so let's go ahead and get to the video. Okay, walking down here to the Mountaineer, and I'm just going to start tagging some wires today, just to get ready to get this engine out. It's muddy around here, so hopefully the hood is up. All right. Okay, so my goal is to tag everything that needs to be removed for this engine to come out. Things such as this, that goes to the master cylinder. So all these cables here, they're gonna have to be pulled out. I guess they can be left with the car, but I can figure a little stuff out like that. That's your main wiring harness right there. So that's definitely gonna have to come loose. It may not be much for me to tag, which is a good thing. Mass airflow wires, I'm gonna have to tag that. So let me get to tagging. Okay, took the radiator out, condenser, fan shroud, tagged a few wires, and I'm just taking off the stuff that I think is gonna give us issues when we lift this engine out. Not a lot of wires to tag, like on an LS, which is a good thing, I guess. So let me get back to it. Power steering and stuff I'm not using, so I can go ahead and cut those hoses. So all right, I'll come back to it. Okay, it's supposed to start raining in a few, so I'm gonna go ahead and end taking this engine out this Mountaineer. I disconnected the throttle cables, disconnected the main power plugs, and the harness going to the ECM. So I think I got a couple more plugs to do, and then I'm gonna take the engine mounts, the bolts out of the engine mounts, and then I can do everything come up under the bottom of the truck. All right, getting ready to see if we can get this Explorer or Mountaineer lifted up so I can take the dry shaft and everything loose to prepare to get this engine taken out. Okay, as you just saw in the time lapse, got the Mountaineer lifted up, and let me show you why it's taking a long time to do anything here. You see all this is mud. It's all surrounded by mud, and we can't really do anything because every couple of days it rains, so it never get a chance to dry out. So right here, I was moving the dump truck out of the way, and it got stuck right there. Just moving it a little bit. So we're gonna have to wait till all this stuff dry out before we can do anything. And just like I say, it rains every couple of days, so it doesn't get a chance to dry out. So that's where we're at. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead with the space that I have to work with, which is not much. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get these motor mounts out, or the bolts and the motor mounts loose, so we can get this ready to pull out. And I'm gonna take a lot of this stuff loose so we can get this engine up and out of here. All right, progress so far. I got the front grill out, everything out for the core support. I just got to finish cutting right down through here and over there. Saw went dead, so that's why I wasn't able to finish that. But I also unbolted the exhaust from one side. This side I couldn't unbolt it, but I cut it right there. And I got some of the bolts out the cross member for the transmission. And transmission cooler disconnected. Kind of make sure that I don't mess with, bend up these wires when I take it out. But other than that, I think it's about ready to pull out. So I doubt I'm gonna get it pulled out in this video. Don't want to make it too long. But other than that, seems like everything is almost ready. I got to let the front down and jack the back up to get the bolts out the dry shaft, so I can take the dry shaft out, and then transmission will be ready to go. Okay, got the rear end of the Mountaineer lifted up. Getting ready to try to see if I can get this dry shaft out, and hopefully get to pulling this engine out. Okay, got the dry shaft out. There's these 4 bolts. They are 12.12 millimeter. So I had to see if I can find a socket for it. And if you see, they got Loctite on them, so they're in there super tight. So you got to get the right socket for it. Okay, transmission cross member is out. It took a good while to get it out, but I just noticed on this particular vehicle, the exhaust mount runs up under the mount of the transmission. Is mounted to it actually. So if we pull the engine up and out, it should disengage that, so I shouldn't have to remove that little rubber mount. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is let the Explorer down, or the Mountaineer down, and push it back into position. And I'm gonna take the engine out of it another day, so that'll be another video. Okay, back from the shop right now. You saw I did a lot to the Mountaineer. Prepping it, just basically getting everything ready to pull the engine out. So my plans is to pull the engine out. In the next video, I'm going to pull the engine out, hopefully pressure wash the engine, get it nice and clean, spray paint it, just make the engine look a lot better before we put it down in the Maverick. So I'm going to pull it in the next video. I'm going to pull the engine out. I'm going to clean it up some, pressure wash it, probably paint it in the next video also. And then the video after that, I'm going to pull the Maverick up, pressure wash the engine bay out of that, paint the engine bay, and get all that going, and then put it back in the shop. It's been raining a lot lately. Just about every day it's been raining. And it's really hard to get any kind of footage going and motivation going with this Maverick project. So just like I said, once I get everything out and I can, you know, get it in the shop, and I think I can move along pretty fast. One of the other problems that we have now is it's almost springtime here, and all the trees are starting to pollinate, and it's going to be hard to get any kind of paint on. Not really worried about the engine. I'm just trying to get the paint inside of the engine bay. So I don't want to do that as long as the pollen is dropping, because it's going to affect the paint. So I'm trying to time all of this out so that I won't be left with a lot of just time just waiting around. So if I can get the Maverick engine bay cleaned out, and maybe I can put it in the shop and kind of get the engine bay painted. So that's my plans. Thanks for watching. Click on that subscribe button if you haven't. Click that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.